What's the United Nations?
Well, it's funny you should ask, because the United Nations is a very interesting organization that I'm about to teach you about. The United Nations, or the UN as many people call it, was formed on October 24th, 1945, after the end of World War II. You know, World War II was a really big mess because lots of people and lots of countries didn't get along. So they created the UN as a means to maintain international peace and promote human rights.
What countries founded the UN?
Well, the United States, United Kingdom, France, the Soviet Union, which today is Russia, and it's all the way over here, and the Republic of China.
Is the UN still around today?
Well, today the UN is actually comprised of 193 member states. It started with only 51. In addition to promoting peace and friendly relations throughout the world, today the UN is devoted to assisting people and promoting human rights. This picture right here is actually taken in the United Nations in New York City.
Tell me more.
This is a very cute elephant. We all know that I love elephants.
More. Stars. What kind of things does the UN actually do?
Well, the UN does lots of things for lots of people all over the world. In fact, they provide food to 90 million people in over 75 countries. You know, not all countries are equal, right? Like in Africa, there's many people that don't have as much. So the UN does a lot to help feed them, help give them vaccines, especially to children who don't get them. Also, you know all those refugees we learned about earlier this year? Well, they help assist 34 million of them. I bet that's even more right now because of everything that's going on. They also fight poverty, and they move $12.5 billion in humanitarian aid every year in order to help people.
That is a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. I've never seen so much money before. Have you?
Nope, definitely not.
Also, they help women, and they also do a lot right now to help nations combat climate change. And we've been talking a lot about climate change, so we will have a model UN in order to talk about that.
What's the model UN?
Oh, well, the Model UN is also known as the Moon or Model United Nations. It's an educational simulation or an academic competition where students learn about diplomacy, international relations, and the United Nations. And it's really cool because students get to pretend like they're different countries and they come together and they try to solve problems. It's really great.
Kind of like acting?
Kind of like acting, exactly.
Can I be a part of it?
Sure, of course you can. When we have our Model UN in our country, we are going to follow some certain rules. They may slightly vary from the original rules of the Model UN, however. Remember, you are representing your assigned country's interests as a formal delegate. There is no use of I or me allowed. You must use we and our because you are representing your country. Also, we will all be speaking in English. No, you do not need to speak in a funny accent like I am. You can speak in English, any kind of English, as long as it's English. Because you're all representing different countries, so I just want to make sure that we can all understand each other. And of course, there are absolutely, positively no side conversations tolerated. You will not be able to be part of the simulation if you have any side conversations. Finally, in order to be very successful, you must dress for success. This educational program was brought to you by the talented and courageous
Ms. Gordon
and Mrs. Hirosh.